Jesus, this guy's got an Uzi. Oh, damn it. Hello everyone! Thank you so much for tuning in! My name is Kaz and welcome back to Cosplays! So I'm continuing our journey through Yakuza 3 right now. And even though we actually can go and start the endgame process of this and actually get to the finale of it, I decided that instead I'm gonna hold off on doing that just now because there are a few side missions that I do want to show off before the end of the game. They don't really have any bearing on the plot outside of like story-wise, but it just gives a little bit of a nice like I don't know side mission and stuff. So the first one is well I have to deal with it after I take care of this guy. As I give him the full Hell's Gauntlet. Oh, what? I pressed X. But I'm doing my best to fight you guys in my own way. I believe that someday you'll come to understand us better. But for now, I hope you'll give me a few minutes of your time and listen to what I have to say. Are you happy with your current career? Let's see, so I guess it turned out for the best that he came to find us, seeing as we don't have any info on his whereabouts yet. Here's your reward. Okay. Well, I'll stop by there later. I do actually want to... Wait, oh my god, wait, can I show off the leader of the Reapers right now? Oh, darn it, there's still quite a bit more. Alright, never mind. Samejima. It almost looks like Saijima, who's another character later on in the series. But in any case, though, let's go off with probably the longest of the side missions currently right now, and that is this mission that... Oh damn it. Wait, let me first take care of this asshole, and then I can continue. Oh, I didn't hit anybody? Ah. I guess I needed to be closer. That guy's name is Miyagi. Man, you know, it's been so long since I've watched the original Karate Kid that I actually do want to... Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm gonna die. Well, that was embarrassing. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So this is pretty much the mystery that's gonna happen. 6 years of my brother's life have been stolen away because of false charges. I'm asking for any help I can get to save his life from unjust imprisonment. It can't be her. Read the truth. Hey. Oh, Kiryu-san. What are you doing standing around here? And who's that? What's she handing out? I think they're... Hey, you over there! I knew it! It is you! You're that journalist! Look what happened to my brother thanks to you. What happened? I never intended that to... Journalists only care about themselves. Do you have any idea what horrible things happen to people you write about? My brother didn't kill anybody. Sounds like you two have quite the past. Yeah, a bit of an understatement. What happened exactly? Maybe we should talk somewhere else. Sure. "6 years ago, there was a murder here at Cafe Alps." Here? The suspect was a man named Yuichi Akechi-san. That woman you saw was his sister, Nozomi Akechi. Yuichi Akechi? I investigated the story and wrote an article implicating Yuichi-san as the murderer. And this was the article that woman was talking about.
Hey.
That's right. Yuichi has consistently denied any involvement in the crime since his arrest. To be honest, even though I wrote the article, I wasn't completely convinced he'd done the deed. I didn't even want to publish it. I didn't want to make him out to be the criminal before we had all the facts. Let me guess, it got published anyway. I was the only person in the department who even considered Yuichi-san might be innocent. It was only getting started as my journalist, so I had to go along with what my department wanted to do. I dug much too far into Yuichi-san's life for my investigation. I interviewed his relatives, even people in the neighborhood. Because of my reporting, people started labeling Akechi's family as the murder family. They were forced to move. Poor Nozomi-san got bullied in school a lot, too. That kind of stuff happens. But I guess she does have a pretty good reason to resent you. Staying up to the facts as always, Kiryu. Oh, hi Heidi! Thanks so much for tuning in! Ever since Yuichi-san was declared guilty, I can't stop thinking about him. Should I have written that article? Were the charges against him false? False? You mean there's a chance Yuichi didn't do it? What makes you think that? I actually used to have a part-time job here a long time ago. Is that so? I worked with Yuichi-san. We talked all the time, and I got to know him pretty well. I just don't think he's the murderer. After that story got published, I swore I'd never repeat the same mistake. I've become an honest journalist who only reports the truth. Are you really just gonna let this go, then? What? You still have doubts about the case, right? Yes. Then shouldn't you be trying to discover the truth? You know what? You're right. I think I gave up after that article came out. But you're absolutely right. I think I'll look into it one more time. How should I go about it, though? I mean, it's been 6 years since the murder happened. I guess you could start by talking to everybody involved in the case. Sure, but... But what?
Oh.
Could you help me, Kiryu-san? I just got Red Dead Redemption 2, and I really want to... if I don't find the truth out yet, I'll regret writing that article for the rest of my life. You want me to look into that old murder with you? Alright, I'll do it. Thank you! Okay, so... Alright, here's the rundown.
事件が起こったのは夜遅く。閉店後、従業員たちが清掃作業をしている時間でした。事件の第一発見者はウェイターの木下さんという男性でした。当時、この店のウェイターだった明智雄一さんは清掃作業の途中、店の裏のゴミ捨て場に行こうとしました。
Pay attention to the details. These are all important in solving this murder.
雄一さんはわずかにドアが開いていることに気づきました。その時、ロッカールームの中では店長の小田さんとウェイトレスの宇佐美さんが抱き合っていました。その宇佐美という女性は雄一さんの恋人でした。雄一さんは恋人の浮気現場を目撃してしまったんです。
I guess that makes sense. A crime of passion.
店長の小田さんに掴みかかりました。その頃、ウェイターの木下さんは客席の方でずっと清掃作業を続けていたんですが、雄一さんがなかなか戻ってこないことを不審に思って様子を見に行きました。すると木下さんは 店の裏口から出ていく雄一さんの姿を見かけました。直後、木下さんはロッカールームのドアが開いていることに気づき、中を覗いてみたところ、そこには頭から血を流して死んでいる店長の小田さんの姿が。警察の調べによると、死因は頭部打撲による脳挫傷。凶器は遺体のそばに落ちていた客席用の灰皿でした。
Ooh, that's a pretty strong ashtray. That's the gist of it. I see. You really do know a lot about this case. But from what you say, Yuichi's motive seems pretty clear. Sounds obvious he killed this guy with his girlfriend was cheating on him with. I'm sure that's what the police thought too. And when they discovered more evidence later, they just decided to arrest Yuichi-san. They found more evidence? Oh, I should give you this. What is it? The notebook I used to collect information about the case. Please take a look at it. You might see something I missed. So yeah, this is pretty much like the tribute to Phoenix Wright right now. So we can take a look at the so like we have what is it? Where did I say it was? I said it press yeah. So yeah, Wakezo's notebook, and we can take a look in here and we can see exactly all the things that are going around and why and who might have actually been the one to kill. So, yep. So yeah, so it looks like we got four people who are witnesses that we're all gonna have to question and figure out what's the truth or whatnot. Oh, I thought this guy was one of the witnesses. Well, never mind. Might as well get myself some iced tea. The thing something that I don't like about this game is that they is that like the restaurants, you can't order multiple items like you could in the past. Let's see. So I don't know if I should give when you give it a look. Oh, okay. So witness shooting with Oda. Kinoshita discovered Oda's body while freezing this. So let's see. Asai Imagawa. Okay, well. Is there anybody here that I need to talk to? Oh, wait, do I go out? Sorry, I might need to... Okay, so we've got to first talk to the lead detective on the case. And he's in one of the bars. I think he's in Bacchus. Which I just have to admit is a great name for a bar. Oh wait, do they still call it Bacchus? I forgot now. Bantam. Right. I forgot they changed the... Oh, there he is. Detective Maeda of the Kamurocho Police. Oh, what a surprise, if it isn't the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan. I think I just gave this guy the same voice I give Date. Hey, you're famous in this town, so what does the fourth chairman want with me anyway? I want to ask about the Cafe Alps murder from 6 years ago. Oh, that shitstorm. Yeah, that was my case. Why do you want to reopen that can of worms now? Did you do it? I'm trying to find out whether Yuichi Akechi really committed the murder or not. What? Are you saying you think he was falsely charged? I've never been so insulted! I've only faked evidence on 3 of my cases! We aren't stupid, you know. The police don't arrest people without proof. We had plenty of evidence saying that Akechi was the murderer. What kind of evidence? We had alibis, witness statements, fingerprints, and a motive. That did it. You got all that evidence. Could you tell me a little more about that? Sure, I guess. Well, might as well tell a total stranger all of the business of this confidential police case. Okay, so we're gonna have to ask pretty much about every single one of these, so... Yeah. We interviewed everyone who may have been part of the crime. In the end, the only person without one was Akechi. Nobody else could have murdered Oda. I guess we've got two choices. We either find Yuichi an alibi or find a flaw in the others. Okay. Witness statements. Tell me about the witness statements. Somebody witnessed Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene just after the crime. I heard about that. The waiter. Masaru Kinoshita. He gave a statement that he saw Akechi. If it was me, I probably think Yuichi did it too. I wonder how I can refute Kinoshita's statement. He did it! I knew it! It was Kinoshita the whole time! That's how I used to, whenever Tadao would be watching, like, old, like, detective shows or like, something like Charlie Chan or any of those, like, older shows, every new character that entered on the screen, I would always just say, he did it, or she did it, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if they were, like, a child or an old person. They did it, of course they did. But what if somebody else did have a reason to kill Oda? Let's see, what to ask. You know, that's something about Phoenix Wright that I thought would have been an interesting case. And maybe they do it in, like, the later games that I haven't played yet, but I thought it would have been interesting if there was one case where, like, it was something that were, like, either, like, the wrong person was incarcerated, or Phoenix accidentally let someone off who was the murderer. Kind of like, well, I guess that was kind of the final case in Justice for All. But that one, the guy ends up getting convicted anyway. So I thought it would be interesting if the real murderer was let go or something. Do you know where the Cafe Alps staff are? Sure, I can't tell you much. I can tell you that much, but I doubt you'll get anything new from them. You wrote the... Okay, well, the florist is somebody. Oh, is that the, is that one the, Edgeworth game? Man, how come they haven't Oh, okay. Damn, I would love to play that. See what Edgeworth does on his spare time. With his own little perky sidekick. Plus, also, it would be kind of interesting to see how a prosecution game is played. I could, but I don't know. I remember I actually that was actually how I played the very first Phoenix Wright game a long time ago. Was on a ROM, and I think maybe I could probably give it another try. But the one that I had was kind of buggy, but that was like over a couple decades ago, before ROMs were like that popular or that what's the word I'm looking for? Popular. I don't know. But it was around the time when ROM stuff was pretty, like, you only knew about how to get through it with, like, geeky things. So I don't know. Yeah, I should probably try it. Maybe I should try it. But I am really looking forward to when the Apollo Justice remaster finally hits, because then I Because then I could finally play those last two games. Because I have not played Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Well, it's okay, Heidi. You don't have to. You can continue waiting because it hasn't even technically been released yet. I think it's coming in March. I want to say. But yeah, I do really want to play that, and then because I'm actually finally on the last mystery again in the original Phoenix Wright game, and damn, I forgot how intriguing this one case was, even though it like didn't have any connections with any of the other cases, and is not really mentioned again, is it? Ooh. Well, I hope that don't spoil too much about the last two, the last two games, because damn, I know that just, oh man, like just the final mission in Trials and Tribulations, I was just stoked by what was in that one. Anyways, so first off, we're off to see the florist. Except, wait, I gotta get this key. I don't really need to get them, I just kind of pick them up whenever I remember that they exist in this game. It's for the completion lists that I have never, ever, ever completed. Oh, wow. Does Spirit of Justice have a M rating, too? Hey, Kiryu, I heard you're looking into the Alps murder. Huh? How did you hear about that? Don't underestimate my information network. I know everything that goes on in this town. I guess you do. So, do you know anything about the murder? I have the police reports in my database. What do you want to know? Well, let's see. About the murder weapon. Tell me about the murder weapon. The same type of ashtray was found all over the cafe. But there was one significant difference between those and the murder weapon. Oh, yeah? The weaponized ashtray had a chipped edge. Do you know how that happened? The day of the murder, a customer knocked the ashtray off the table on the floor, chipping it. Akechi noticed it while he was cleaning up at closing time and decided to bring it out to the dumpster. That's when he passed the locker room and saw his girlfriend cheating. So, there's no doubt that Akechi touched the murder weapon that day. Nope. Normally, the ashtray would have been washed and all the fingerprints would have disappeared. But Akechi noted that that particular ashtray had been chipped, so instead of washing it, he decided to throw it out. And by that twist of fate, everyone who touched it that day still had their prints all over it. So all the fingerprints on the murder weapon were made the day of the murder. Well, let's see. Fingerprints. I want to know about fingerprints! These are all the prints taken from the ashtray. The prints outlined in red match Akechi's. This apparently is the evidence that led directly to his arrest. But what about the other fingerprints? Well, one thing's for sure. None of them match the prints of any other employees at the Cafe Alps at the time. Though they're thought to be from customers who visited the cafe on that day. Probably 2 or 3 people. One of these sets of prints might be from the real murderer. It's certainly possible. So the real murderer's prints could be on the ashtray. Okay. Considering that the florist has that much information, you'd think that he'd actually be able to see who might have killed Oda, but I guess maybe not really, because there probably wasn't a camera in the employee back room. Or well, I don't know, maybe there would be. I mean, yeah, the florist really is not exactly somebody who can come right out and say, by the way, I can totally exonerate everybody who you've wrongfully imprisoned. Considering a lot of his methods are quite illegal. Oh my god, I forget though how much the florist's voice wrecks my throat. It's a shame, but the florist, sadly, like, this is, I think, pretty much... Oh wait, no, he does make an appearance in number 4. But then 5 and 6, he's, like, in 5, he only has, like, one line. Like, he's just almost like a cameo. And then 6, he's not even mentioned at all. So, but we're not quite done with the florist yet. I forgot he actually has a very important plot in number 4. Okay, so... Wait, can I see where they are now, or... Current manager at Cafe Alps. Current employee at Makbol. Nakamichi. Street Popo. Currently employed at Theater Square. Okay, so... Nakamichi Popo. Wait, where's Nakamichi Street? God, I have been down this freaking... Oh, okay, there it is, right there. I have been playing this game for so many years, you'd think I'd remember the street names. This is how bad I am at direction. I just know the general vicinity that things are in. Like, if you were to tell me, where's Disneyland located? I could tell you, it's in Anaheim. Where's Anaheim? Somewhere in LA. I've thought about, like, streaming the Phoenix Wright series, but I feel like if I'm gonna do that, I need at least, like, 3 people to read. Because if not, then you're just gonna get the same voices coming out from all the characters. Though, funny enough, I think my Date voice and Gumshoe voice are exactly the same. I don't know why. I guess grizzled detectives, I just give the exact... It just sounds exactly the same. Oh, god damn it. You know what? I need to... Maybe it might be better if I found some item that reduces. Oh, that's true, yeah. Yeah, if I could just make them sound distinct enough. Kind of like H. John Benjamin and all of his characters. Like, even though they all sound exactly the same, there's slight differences in the way that they talk. Though, funny enough, I think my Phoenix voice is just... Because, like, I usually just give Phoenix my normal voice, and then Edgeworth, I would lower it just a tad, like around here. This is where Edgeworth is. Because their objections sound slightly similar. Though now I kind of wish I could hear their, what the Japanese, voice dub is, because I know it's Yigiri! You're Imagawa, right? That's right. Who are you? I'm looking into the cafe murder, Alps murder from 6 years ago. What? Let's see. What? Okay, well, you are very... You seem very surprised that I'm doing this. Yes, I spent the whole day at home. Alone? No, some friends came by, and my totally real girlfriend. And these friends are corroborating your alibi? That's right, so it wasn't me. Witness statements. Do you know anything about the man fleeing the scene? Nope, I didn't see anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything. This guy seems to be... This guy seems to know just a little bit too little about everything. I don't know anything. Don't ask me. Your prints weren't found on the murder weapon, were they? Next, you're gonna start saying I wore gloves. Well, you're wrong. I wasn't anywhere near the cafe that day. Guess it stands to reason your prints would be on it. Alright, well, you're not gonna help me. I don't know anything about the murder, so just leave me alone. Man, this guy's got a persecution complex. Let me know if you remember anything from around the time of the murder. Doesn't matter how small. I didn't do anything, honest. You have to believe me. Everyone's saying I'm the murderer, aren't they? Aren't they? No, nobody's saying anything about you. I don't believe you. Everyone hated me at that cafe. They used to harass me. Harassed you? How? Someone even stole my wallet, CDs, and uniform out of my locker on the day of the murder. Are you sure the police didn't pick them up as evidence? Absolutely, I'm sure. Someone was harassing me, I tell you. Someone stole Imagawa's things. Huh. Well, he might not have known anything, but... Can I play? Oh no, no, I don't want to play Box Salos. Oh, never mind, okay. Alright, well, let's head over to the Mock Bowl. The place where it can take me a long time to get a turkey, or I get it, like, within the first few rolls. I don't know how, but it seems the bowling mechanics always change up on me. Oh, oops, this is a different side mission. I'll worry about that one off stream. It's not too interesting. Are you Sawako Usami? Yes, what do you want? I'm looking into the murder that happened at Cafe Alps 6 years ago. There's nothing left to say. Yuichi Akechi might not have killed Oda. If we're going to find out the truth, I need to hear your account of what happened that day. It's a good thing that Kiryu is quite imposing. I doubt many people would just randomly talk to some stranger. You were there when Akechi confronted Oda, weren't you? Yeah, I mean, I was the reason they fought, so of course I was there. What happened after that? Did you see Akechi kill Oda? I took off, so don't ask me. Took off? What do you mean? Do you have any idea what it feels like to have your significant other walk in on you when you're with someone else? Talk about awkward. It would have been more awkward if other people started coming in to see what the fuss was all about. So I ran out the back door. You don't really sound too broken about Oda getting killed. I went home, but Yuichi followed me. We spent the night arguing about breaking up. Of course, I never imagined he already killed Oda-san. So you're saying you didn't see Akechi kill Oda? That's right, and I told the police that too. So nobody actually saw Akechi kill Oda. I don't know anything about that. I left the cafe before Yuichi did, so I don't know how he left. Right, okay. Well, okay, so I don't want to sit here and... Well, actually, no, never mind. I do have to... I mean, did he do anything to make anybody else mad? I don't know. The police would have known if he had any loans out or anything like that, right? I wasn't particularly close to him. We just ended up hooking up that night. I see. Maybe Akechi really did kill Oda after seeing him with Usami. They didn't find your fingerprints on the murder weapon, right? Right. They only found Yuichi's. We constantly replace the customers' ashtrays with clean ones, but Yuichi must have had the only one to touch that. I guess he was just unlucky. Yuichi took good care of customers and replaced their ashtrays often. I think he must have noticed that one was chipped. Okay, well... Right. Sorry, thanks for the help. What are you doing anyway? Oh, I'm just pushing these buttons. Okay. Well, so the next two people are in the Nakamichi Popo and back at Cafe Alps itself. Excuse me. No, ah, damn it. I always lose about 2 or 3 minutes of gameplay beating up these guys. Oh, that's interesting. There's only 2 guys? Not much of a Yakuza group, are you? If you only have 2 people. This isn't like the Ryudo family in downtown Ryukyu. If my Hanaki was here, you would be bleeding! God, yeah, saying if my Aniki was here, it's almost like going like, my big brother could totally beat you up! Oh! Ugh. Sometimes these are just unavoidable. But why can these guys not appear out of the freaking woodwork when I'm trying to grind? No, I never threatened anyone with Tadao. Back when that sort of thing would have, when I probably would have quoted that, I was actually lucky enough to have a pretty fortunate childhood, and I didn't experience too much, like, issues like that with any other kids or whatnot, so I never had to threaten to sick my brother on them. And besides, most of the time, he would mostly irritate me anyway, so... Yeah, who are you? I'm Kazuma Kiryu. I wanted to ask about the murder that happened at Cafe Alps 6 years ago. Oh, that? So what do you want to know? You were at the cafe at the time of the murder, weren't you? Yeah, I think I was closing the register. It was after we closed for the night. So you didn't go anywhere near the murder scene, the locker room? Huh? Of course not. I mean, why would I? I was still working, wasn't I? What? He's acting kind of funny. Do you know anything about the person seen running from the scene of the crime? No, I don't know anything. I only found out the murder had taken place when Kinoshita-san showed up looking as white as a sheet. I didn't see the murderer at all. Oh, I see. Oh, but I did see Oda-san's body. Ugh, I can still see it. Blah. So Asai went to the locker room after the murder escaped, huh? Do you know anybody with the motive to kill Oda? Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, it was bad enough he was always messing around at the workplace, but going after another employee's woman? Get a grip. Make it sound like he slept with other women at the cafe before. Yeah, I saw him hook up with another woman there once. Another woman? Got a name for her? Yeah, I think her last name was Saito. I guess she was dating Oda-san at the time of the murder? I don't see anybody named Saito listed amongst the people related to the case. She already quit the cafe by that time. I heard she was still hung around the Oda-san, though. So Oda was dating somebody at the time. Well then. So that opens up a lot of things, doesn't it?
Oh.
I just didn't like doing the ashtrays. I always left that to other people. So it's pretty natural my fingerprints wouldn't be on it, I guess. I see. Hey, this is a pretty boring job, so thanks for helping me kill some time. You could ask me anything you want, whatever you want. By the way, do you remember Imagawa? Imagawa? Sounds familiar. Her co-worker from Cafe Alps. Oh, Mr. Gloomy. Yeah, I remember him now. Imagawa says he had things stolen from his locker. You know anything about that, Asai? What? You think I had something to do with it? Let's see what happens if I were to just blatantly accuse him. Yes. Look, I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to figure out what you know. Well, I might have tried to make a quick book or two off of him. All I took was a wallet and CDs I sold off later. Anything else? Like what? You didn't steal Imagawa's uniform? Yeah. Uniform? How would I make any money off of that? All I stole was his wallet and CDs, that's all. So that's all Asai took, huh? Maybe the police really did take the uniform. Man, I'm bored. Okay, so we have the name of somebody new now, and we have one more person to question before. Well, we're not able to put the mystery to sleep just yet. Oh wait, can I talk about her? Weren't you the guy who was with that reporter? What do you want? You told me about the case. I'm helping him look for information to try to prove your brother's innocence. Huh? What are you talking about? He feels responsible, so we're looking for a way to help your brother. Oh, really? Well, you're too late. My brother's been in prison for 6 years. Do you think you could just waltz up to me and pretend to care now? Just leave me alone. Alright, fine. I thought maybe she might have some information, but I guess not. Oh, wait, no, not you. Ugh, damn it. Ugh, alright, give me a strawberry parfait. You know, it was in Japan that I first ever had a parfait. And I thought it was very interesting, because they had coffee jello cubes in it. You're Kinoshita-san, right? That's right. Who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. I wanted to ask you about the murder that happened at this cafe 6 years ago. Oh, that. Well, I don't know if I can tell you anything new, but go ahead. Alright, let's go down the list again. I was here in the customer area, cleaning up. I believe you can see me on the security camera tapes. I wasn't in the locker room when the murder took place. They say you saw Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene at the night of the crime. Tell me more about that. Yes, I saw him. That night, Akechi-kun disappeared right in the middle of the cleanup. I waited a while and he still didn't come back. I went to check on him. That's when I saw him leaving through the back door of the cafe. Are you sure it was Akechi? Well, I only saw his back, but I'm sure it was him. If you didn't see his face, how can you be so sure it was Akechi? The man I saw leave through the back door was wearing our cafe waiter's uniform. Aside from Oda-san, there were only three other male employees that night. Akechi-kun, a guy called Asai-kun, and me. You can see Asai-kun spending the night closing the register on the security tapes. The only person I could have seen would have been Akechi-kun. After that, I called the police and waited at the back door until they showed up. No one tried to enter or leave during that time. So Kinoshita didn't see the criminal's face. Did Oda have many enemies? Well, I'm not sure. I didn't really talk to him much outside of work. Let's see, and probably, nope, there's no fingerprints. Okay, I think that's it. Are you a detective, Kiryu-san? Not exactly. Why do you ask? No reason. I was just wondering why anybody would be looking into the case now. I'm trying to help a friend out. Find out if Yuichi Akechi is innocent. Innocent? You think someone else could have been the murderer? It's possible. I see. I would feel terrible for Akechi-kun if he really was innocent this whole time. I can't imagine what it's like being in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Especially for 6 years. That'd be horrible. Funny enough, yeah, Kiryu can actually relate to that, considering that he did spend, since he did spend his time in prison for a crime he didn't commit either. I've talked to everybody related to the case, but it looks like it doesn't. But it doesn't look like it's going to be easy to prove Yuichi Akechi's innocence. I should meet up with Oh, I should go back to that place I just was at. Funny seeing you here. What's up? I'm taking one of my clients on the town. We were in the area and I thought I'd drop in to see you. Taking your client out of the town? Don't you mean you're going to one of those host clubs? My client just happens to like host clubs, really. It's just a coincidence. Speaking of which, isn't your perfume a bit strong tonight? Oh, really? I didn't think so, but... Oh, look at the time. Okay, I've got to go. That Yuko. Who was the woman talking to Kinoshita? That's Kinoshita-san's wife, Yuko-san. Kinoshita's wife? How did you know that? She actually used to work here. That's how I know her. She worked here? That's right. She already quit by the time the murder happened, though. She wasn't on the security tapes of the dining area, so she definitely wasn't at the cafe that day. I see. Doesn't sound like Kinoshita's wife Yuko is involved in the case, but maybe I should look into her anyway. Alright, well, we gotta go find the host club that she's at. Luckily, there's only one about that would be, well, actually no, because... Oh wait, no, yeah, there is only one host club. Yeah, because the other ones are hostess clubs. Ha 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 ha! The ones where I hit on the hostesses. So yeah, so is she in here somewhere? Oh, yep, there she is. That looks like Kinoshita's wife, Yuko.
Kiryu-san.
Oh, Kiryu-san, what brings you here? Yuya, what can you tell me about that woman over there? Who? You mean Yuko-san? She's been a regular customer of ours for years. What do you want with her? She looks awfully rich for somebody so young. She manages a venture-funded startup. Her company got popular making products targeted at young women, and it's been growing pretty fast over the last 4 or 5 years. Is that so? Oh, Yuya, who's that? I haven't seen him before. Is he a new host? Yuko-san, this is Kiryu-san. We owe a lot to this man here, and no, he's not a host. Oh, I see. That's unfortunate. This is my company, by the way. If you ever need anything, just give me a call. Sure. Bye now. Tonight was fantastic. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again. Okay, walk around the purple-suited gentleman, because that guy is definitely a random encounter. Looks like I'm clear here. I'm gonna go closer to the... Oh, yep, there's another one. Okay, let's get back to Bantam. Nope, I still don't see anything off about any of this. Do you have a minute? Oh, it's you! So, did you find proof of Akechi's innocence yet? What was that you were looking at? Oh, this is a list of evidence we made during the investigation 6 years ago. You're taking such a hard look at this case, I thought I might take another glance myself. I guess you won't find anything... but you won't find anything wrong with any of it. I honestly can't figure out why you think Akechi is innocent. Wait a minute. What's this? I finally got it. Was it really this simple all along? No mistake about it. Somebody framed Akechi.
Nani?
What? Are you serious? Yeah, I'll explain everything. But first, I need you to round up everybody related to the case. But I don't really have that type of jurisdiction, but okay. Okay, just don't blame me if it doesn't. I'll get everyone together at Cafe Alps. That ought to work, right? Now, let's see if I can remember the voices that I gave all of these people. I've got all the evidence I need. It's time to reveal what really happened 6 years ago. Awesome, we can probably solve this murder before the end of the stream. Well, I did as you asked, Detective. I closed the cafe and kicked everyone out. Now, what's all this about? Kiryu-san and his friend here would like to talk to all of you. I have you here for one reason and one reason alone. I'm sure you all remember the murder that took place here 6 years ago. The victim was Kazuo. Oh God! His name was Kazuo! Ah! The manager of this cafe at the time, one of the employees, Yuichi Akechi-san, was arrested for his murder. But did Akechi-san really kill Oda-san? I'd like to ask each of you to think back on that day. Do any of you have any evidence, any truly conclusive evidence, that Akechi-san was really the one that killed Oda-san? I've been struggling with one question since the day of that murder. Could Akechi-san actually be innocent? But before I found out for sure, an article I wrote implicating Akechi-san as the murderer got published. But thanks to Kiryu-san here, we finally arrived at the truth of what happened 6 years ago. But if Akechi-kun is innocent, that means someone else is guilty. Exactly. But... what do you base all this on, Kiryu-san? You just show them proof of you. Okay, so, I am going to cheat a little bit and use a guide to present these in the right order. Because I've actually never figured out what happens if you accidentally give the wrong evidence or whatever. Usami was the one who saw Akechi and Oda fight on the day of the murder, isn't that right? Yes, but I left in the middle of it. In other words, she didn't actually see Akechi-san kill Oda-san. Exactly, and only Usami saw Oda and Akechi fighting. So we can't conclude Yuichi Akechi killed Oda, which means the charges against him could be false. Sorry, but that doesn't hold water. What do you mean? Akechi's prints were all over the weapon used to kill Oda. That's the solid evidence to prove Akechi did it. Is that all you have to say? Huh? What do you mean? This was your case. You ought to know that Akechi's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone weren't enough to convict him. I don't follow you. Spit it out for us, will ya? The ashtray's fingerprints. The ashtray used as the murder weapon hasn't been washed because it was supposed to be thrown out. Akechi's prints weren't the only ones on it. That means you can't prove his guilt from the fingerprints alone. Detective, is that true? Yes, it's just as he says. So you admit you might not have been my brother? But that's still not enough to prove someone else did it. Somebody witnessed Akechi fleeing the scene. That's another piece of solid evidence. Think about it. You think the person actively fleeing the scene of the crime is a culprit, wouldn't you? Why'd they run away if they didn't do anything? What do you have to say about that? Kiryu-san, do you have any information to refute the witness statements about Akechi-san? There was one hole in the witness statements, and I need to argue that angle. Okay, so Kinoshita's testimony. Kinoshita, you saw Akechi fleeing the scene, right? Yes, I did. Are you sure? I'm not lying. I'm sure I saw him. But you didn't see the face of the person fleeing that scene. You said that, right? Yeah, I only saw his back. So then it's possible you saw someone else. Is that all you got? The police wouldn't have arrested Akechi on any old vague evidence, you know. There was also something that proved the person Kinoshita-san saw was in fact Akechi. And what was that? The man Kinoshita-san saw leaving the scene of the crime was wearing a Cafe Alps uniform. The only waiters that they employed at the Cafe Alps at the time were Kinoshita-san, Asai-san, and Imagawa-san, and Akechi-san. Oh my god, I'm getting all these sans all tongue-tied now. The security tapes all show Kinoshita-san and Asai-san all out in front at the time of the murder. We've also confirmed that Imagawa-san was at home. Ugh. Therefore, by process of elimination, the only waiter Kinoshita-san could have seen was Akechi. Kiryu-san, is that true? No, it's absolutely possible that the person Kinoshita saw was not Akechi. I have a statement to prove that. Well then, why don't you share this statement with us? And now it's Imagawa. There was actually another crime committed at this cafe on the day of the murder 6 years ago. Another crime? That's the first I've heard of it. Imagawa's uniform disappeared from his locker in the Cafe Alps locker room. Imagawa-kun's uniform? Yes, my uniform disappeared from my locker. Since you weren't present on the day of the murder, when did you notice this was missing? The day after Oda-san was murdered, I came to work. The police were investigating, so I couldn't go in. But once the police left, I looked at my locker and saw my uniform was gone. Come on! The police probably took it as evidence. I'm sure there was plenty of stuff missing from the crime scene. You're wrong. Somebody was definitely harassing me. Everyone teased me. Asai-kun, why don't you tell them who took my uniform? You took everything else. The uniform must have been you too. You're so whiny. Bully, police, whoever took it. It has nothing to do with Akechi or this case. No. Imagawa's uniform is the key to this case. What do you mean? I'll show you right now. I can show them 2 pieces of it. Okay, so then we need the list of evidence. And Asai's second testimony. Look at the list of evidence I borrowed from you. There's no way there's no waiter's uniform on it. Let's see. You're right, I don't see any waiter's uniform listed. In other words, the uniform disappeared before the police showed up. If the police didn't confiscate it, who could have taken it? It was a Sai-kun, right? No, not a Sai. He did steal things from you, true, but he wasn't doing it to harass you. He was just after some cash. Your wallet and CDs made sense, but your uniform wouldn't have been worth anything. Well then, who did it? Oh, you mean the murderer took it? Exactly. The criminal wanted to make it look like somebody else committed the crime, so they stole the waiter's uniform and exchanged it. And changed into it, sorry. And then as soon as somebody came by, they hid their face and ran out the back exit. Is that true? So you're saying the person who stole Imagawa's uniform and fled the scene of the crime is the real criminal? Yeah. And who might that be? The real criminal is... Yuko Kinoshita! This is the only person who it could have been.
Kiryu-san, それではその人物の名前を教えてください。6年前、小田さんを殺し、明智さんに罪をかぶせた事件の真犯人とは一体。
犯人はお前だ。木下優子、お前が小田を殺した真犯人だ。
That's the closest we'll get to the take that! Yuko killed Oda-san? An interesting theory, but why would I kill Oda-san? I didn't have any reason to do anything like that. Yeah, Yuichi Akechi's motive was Usami-san's relationship with Oda-san. Exactly how are Yuko-san and Oda-san connected? Asai's first testimony. Oda was dating someone at the time of the murder. Somebody who used to work as a waitress at Cafe Alps. What? Is that true? Yes, and her last name was Saito. Saito? That's Yuko's maiden name. I hear you worked at this cafe until just before the time of the murder. Yuko-san and Oda-san were dating? I didn't know that. Yuko-san, is this true? I don't have to answer that. Yuko? If Oda-san was dating Yuko-san, then Usami-san wasn't the only one cheating. Oda was cheating too. And that means Yuko-san also had a motive to kill Oda-san. So anyone with a motive is a killer? You haven't done anything but hypothesize. Exactly, you've only talked about other possibilities. Do you have any other conclusive evidence that she murdered him? If only I had something with Yuko's fingerprints on it. I do! This is the evidence. Is that my business card? The business card with your fingerprints on it. We should be able to compare the prints on this card to the ones on the murder weapon. Give me that business card. Let's check this out right now. Luckily, I have a fingerprint lab in my pocket, so I can use to check this. These are Yuko Kinoshita's prints. And the prints on the ashtray. They're... Oh! One's a perfect match! I don't believe it. How do you explain that? Even if my prints are on that ashtray, so what? How does that change anything? What do you mean? I ate at Cafe Alps on the day of the murder. I must have just touched the ashtray while I was here.
She's right. There's no crime in touching an ashtray, and she was just a customer.
No, Yuko's lying. I should call her out on it. No, you're lying. What the hell are you talking about? There's no record of you coming into the cafe the day of the murder. Right, Detective Maeda?
He's right. We had cafe employees watch all the security tapes, and they gave statements that no other cafe employees, former or otherwise, visited that cafe that day. Right, Kinoshita-san?
That's right.
I've seen Yuko-san's face before, so I would have noticed it if she was on the tapes. She definitely wasn't.
Which means you didn't come to the Cafe Alps on the day of the murder as a customer. So why are your fingerprints on the ashtray then? Fine, maybe it wasn't the day of the murder. It might have been the day before. It's not that big of an issue. Nope, you had to have been there the day of the murder. You weren't a customer. You were the real murderer.
Huh?
The only people who could have had their prints on the murder weapon were those who visited the day of the murder. How did you come to that conclusion? And now for the coup de grace. I need some... Okay, so this is the last one, and then we'll finish up this mission. I am sorry we did go over time a bit, but I think finding out a real killer is good reason enough to extend the session. But the day of the murder, a customer dropped the ashtray, chipping it. Yuichi Akechi saw the chipped ashtray, and instead of washing it, decided to throw it out. Since you couldn't have come to the cafe as a customer that day, there was only one time you could have left your prints on the ashtray. You did it after Akechi dropped the ashtray in the locker room when he witnessed Usami cheating on him with Oda. Sometime after Akechi left, and before Kinoshita came in to check on him, you entered the locker room and murdered Oda. Then you put on Imagawa's uniform and went out the back. Isn't that right?
Yuko-san, is what Kiryu-san says true? It'll only get worse if you stay quiet.
Shut up! I told you I didn't do it! I give up, Yuko. I'm putting an end to this. What? Do you know something, Kinoshita-san? I knew you came into the cafe that day, Yuko. What? How? I could smell you. It was very faint, but I could smell your perfume all around the crime scene. No way. Why didn't you say this earlier? I've been in love with Yuko ever since we worked together. That's why I knew the scent of her perfume the minute I smelled it. Sometime after the murder, I happened to run into her again. Eventually, we started dating. One day, I brought up the murder and the face went white. She fell quiet and avoided commenting on anything. That's when I was sure Yuko had been here the day of the crime.
Well, I'll be.
But I still don't know exactly what that meant. Or should I say, I didn't want to know what that meant. When I found out Kiryu-san was looking into that old crime, I decided to keep it all a secret. But now, Yuichi Akechi has suffered 6 years for a crime he didn't commit, all because I didn't say anything. It was my fault. If I had just spoken up, none of this would have happened. Gee, Kinoshita-san.
さあ、もう言い逃れはできないぜ。
優子さん、今一度尋ねます。あなたが小田さんを殺したんですか？
そうよ。私がやったのよ。
you give a statement that Yuichi Akechi is innocent?
Yes, Akechi had nothing to do with the murder.
Yuko, how could you have done such a thing? Was it really just because Oda-san was cheating?
Of course that's what it was about. He said he was going to marry me.
事件が起こった日、あの日は彼の小田さんの誕生日だった。だから私は彼を驚かそうと思ってプレゼントを持ってお店に向かったの。もうお店も閉まっている時刻だったから裏口から入ってロッカールームに向かったわ。でもそこで見たのは他の女と浮気してる彼の姿だった。
Wait,
私は
did
ふと身
Usami?
を引いて隠れた。
Well, I guess Usami probably didn't see her.
目の前で何が起きてるのか理解しようと努めたわ。そのすぐ後に明智さんがやってきた。明智さんはロッカールームの中を覗いて小田さんと宇佐美さんの浮気現場を目撃すると手に持っていた灰皿を落とし小田さんに掴みかかっていったわ。言い争うような声が聞こえた後すぐに宇佐美さんがロッカールームから出てきて裏口から店の外へ出て行ったわ。すぐに明智さんも宇佐美さんの後を追って店の外へ出て行ってしまった。明智さんと宇佐美さんが出て行った後私はロッカールームの中へ入っていった。小田さんは私の姿を見てすごいびっくりしたみたいだったけど浮気がバレたことが分かると開き直って別れ話を切り出してきたわ。宇佐美と一緒になるつもりだから別れてくれってね。その言葉を聞いた途端完全に頭に血が上っちゃって気がついたら近くに落ちてた灰皿で小田さんを殴っていたわ。それからは桐生さんが言った通りよ。私はロッカーにあった制服に着替えてわざと裏口の前で誰かが来るのを待っていた。少しして誰かが客席の方からやってきたから顔を見られないようにして裏口から出て行った。それで部外者の自分には絶対に疑いがかからないだろうって思ったわ。
Several years passed. I ran into Kinoshita-san, and we eventually got married. I started selling things as a hobby, but then soon it turned into a business. Before I knew it, it grew into a large company. It's been 6 years that day, and my life's been going so well. I can't believe the truth came out now, of all times.
Yuko-san, did you ever think what it felt for Akechi-san to have to bear these false charges? What it felt to be knocked down to rock bottom and have his freedom stolen for the past 6 years? And think what would have happened if we hadn't revealed the truth just now. How many more years he would have suffered. Only the person who took Akechi's-san's freedom can give it back. You need to turn yourself in. Testify in front of a court and pay for your crimes. Can I escort you to the station?
Yes.
Yuko, I'll be waiting for you right here when you get back.
Masaru, thank you. Extra, extra! Read all about it! Guilty criminal of a 6-year-old murder turns herself in! The man originally accused of the crime now stands to be acquitted in a new trial! I was wrong about the media. I thought you just went from one person to the next looking for gossip. I didn't think you cared about the people in your articles. I just figured you forgot about them the second they left your pages. But you've been worrying about my brother this whole time. You even proved his innocence. There are decent people in the media. Thank you so much for helping him. Nozomi-san, I have to apologize for the way I treat you. I want to give you a reward for helping me to get a real retrial for my brother.
You don't owe me anything. As much as I hate to admit it, I didn't do anything on this one. Proving your brother's innocence was all the work of Kiryu-san here. I certainly don't deserve any reward from you.
What are you talking about? You did what a real journalist is supposed to do.
What do you mean?
Sure, you wrote an article saying Akechi was the murderer,
But now you've written an article clearing his name. Isn't that the way a real journalist is supposed to resolve
なる
things?
ほど
Sure, but I won't let this be the end of it. I'll continue follow the truth till the day I put down my pen. That's my duty as a reporter. I'll be cheering you on. Okay. So you get a boatload of experience and money for doing that. And sadly, we will never see Wakazo ever again. He is no longer in any of the games. But anyways, so thank you so much for tuning in and staying a little bit of extra time. I will be back Sunday with something else. I'm not sure yet, but I will be back on Sunday, though, with the next playthrough of one of the games. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care!